Hello, welcome to 7th grade language arts with Mrs. Gonzalez. I'm so glad that you're here today to learn more about this class and what your child will learn with me this year in 7th grade. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Michigan. I've been teaching for 7 years. And in my free time, I love a good book, I love good food, and I love good people. My husband and I, we love to serve people. We're very involved in our church. We love traveling and doing different missions trips in the United States and around the world. So we just love giving back to people. The best contact information for me this year is through email. Right now, students and parents should be sending me an email to open the lines of communication this year. But email is the best way to get in touch with me if you need anything. For a parent-teacher conference, right now during virtual learning, the best way to set up a Zoom parent-teacher conference with me is by emailing me. My office hours in the morning are for my students to help them, assist them, have them make up anything. But then for parents, from 2:20 to 2:50, I'm available for a Zoom parent-teacher conference. And again, if that time frame doesn't work, then if you, again, email me, we can come up with a day and time that does work. But that's the best way to set up a conference. Even when we come back to brick and mortar, I know some parents like to call the school office to set up a conference. That's okay. But sometimes they set it up on a day that I'm not available or I have a meeting after school. So the easiest, fastest, most convenient way to not waste anyone's time is just email me and request it through me. And I will get back to you for sure. Right here is our class website. So every teacher has a website like this at Doral. But basically, through this website, not only are there tabs on the left that give students and parents information about the class, but also at the home page, at the bottom of every teacher's website on their home page, that is where students access the Doral homework website. So this is where I give all of the homework posts. So I do go over it with students in class, but I know sometimes, they can forget, lots going on. So I tell students and I continue to remind students, hey, if you forget where the homework is or you forget what you're supposed to do, go to the Doral homework website and read through my post, and it will remind you that everything is on Google Classroom and when it's due, the due dates. For our virtual classroom, we are using Google Classroom. I absolutely love Google Classroom. I was using it before the pandemic, but this year we're even using it more. This is where students turn in their assignments. This is where students see announcement reminders from me, their teacher. This is where all of the homework assignment materials and resources are located for students to be successful at the homework. And this is definitely where, if they have a task on Google Classroom, that they, read the instructions on what they're supposed to do it, and then mark it as done or turn it in. Every student joined Google Classroom the first week of school with their join code. And then now this week, I've been requesting the parents to fill out a Google contact form. And I've been taking emails, and I now have been getting parents plugged into their child's Google Classroom. So please be on the lookout for an email invitation for you to connect with your child's Google Classroom. Thank you to the parents that have already connected. And give me a little bit more time this weekend to finish emailing some parents that I'm still getting their information from. And then also, if you have not seen an invitation, please check your junk or spam mail. But everyone should be receiving an invitation, and I encourage you to accept that invitation so you can get connected to your child's learning and progress this year. Absent procedures. Again, I encourage my students to always be making up their work, no matter if their absence is excused or unexcused. And basically, these are the procedures of what a student needs to do. So I put the ball in their court, and I, tell them that it's your responsibility to make up your absence. I'm not going to come chase you down. You have to be proactive and make up what you need to make up. I will help inform you what you need to make up by this. I tell students the day you're absent, In the evening time, check the Doral homework website because I will have posted a homework post of the class recap of what we did in class. And then I will also post the homework. So then the student can kind of fill themselves in what they missed. And if they have a question over something, they can phone a friend from class and get more explanation. And I tell them, last case scenario is if, reach out to me. But I try to give them the resources to be self-sufficient. And then I also tell them, check your grades, because if you were supposed to turn something in or you were supposed to take a quiz or a test that day, I will put a Z in the grade book, but I will put a comment as to how the student is supposed to make up that grade. I give them, the all last day that they can make up, the time and the place where they need to make it up. So it's the student's responsibility to be checking his or her grades, reading those comments, and showing up when and where they need to show up to. And then students have 2 consecutive school days to make up their work. So I don't do the whole A day, B day. No. If you're absent on a Tuesday and you're back in school, either Zoom school or brick and mortar, you have Wednesday is day 1 and Thursday is day 2. Okay, by Friday, you can't make it up anymore. And I also have that included in my syllabus. If a student's absent on a Friday or a Thursday, and the weekend, I count the weekend as 2 days. So if a student's absent on Friday, their 2 days are Saturday, Sunday. They must make it up on Monday. Same thing for Thursday. If they're absent on Thursday, they have Friday to make up, or they have Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, that's the weekend. And then Monday, they must make it up. Late and tardy procedures. Thankfully, I have not had issues with students coming in late or tardy for Zoom. So cross my fingers, knock on wood, that's continues to be good. But again, I usually give a little cushion room on Zoom. So like 5 minutes, if they're coming in 10 minutes late, then I will mark them tardy for Zoom. But I usually give like a 5-minute cushion window. But that being said, students still need to log on time and come to class on time. Same thing if they were in the school, coming to class on time is very important. So basically 3 tardies is, if we were in brick and mortar, 3 tardies equals a detention. Now on Zoom, 3 tardies, I'm supposed to send them to see their counselor. The schedules that we're following for online learning are posted here as well. So hopefully your child was able to print this out and have it by their workstation so they know their schedule. Classroom rules. These rules are for when we are in the actual physical classroom. A few modifications for Zoom. Obviously, with the eating, drinking, and chewing gum, I told students, because you are in your home, I do not mind if you eat, drink, or chew gum. I just asked them that please do it respectfully. We just went over a couple things. If you have food, you shouldn't be throwing it up in the air. You shouldn't be chewing with your mouth full. You shouldn't be popping bubbles. Okay, please be respectful when you're on Zoom and you're in class. Okay, but I don't mind if you take a sip of water, take a sip of juice, or you eat a little snack or chew gum. Just be respectful and mature when doing so. Also, too, I told students that they cannot walk away from their workstation. I told them it's like in class. You can't just walk out of class and leave your seat. You have to have permission from the teacher. So same thing on Zoom. A student needs to have permission to walk away from his or her workstation. And then lastly, bathroom. In my classroom, I don't allow the kids to go to the bathroom. Okay, during class, it is my time. We have things to do. We have things to learn. We have things to get done. So you have plenty of time between classes and at lunch to go to the bathroom. So same thing with Zoom. Okay, I don't allow the kids to go to the bathroom during Zoom class. They have to go after Zoom class or at lunch. The grading scale. The English department, the language arts department, we grade a little bit differently from other departments in the sense of we don't grade with percents. We are on a 4-point scale. So again, at the end of the day, an A is an A. There's no such thing as an A plus or an A minus. So if a student lands anywhere from 100 to 90%, that's an A. They get 4 points. That's it. If they get a B, anywhere in the B range, they get 3 points in the grade book. If they get a C and fall in the C range anywhere, they get 2 points. D is 1 point, and an F is 0. Now, a little bit of a difference between an F and a Z, okay? And here's how I do it for my class. If a student hands in something, okay, but it is done poorly, they did not follow directions, or they handed in nothing, like it's blank, the activity's blank, the project's blank, the essay's blank, then I give them an F, and I put in the gradebook comment why they got an F. If a student does not hand in anything, okay, they did not do it at all, they did not turn it in, they did not give it to the teacher, there's nothing for me to grade, then it's a Z, okay? For Reading Plus, same thing. If they do all of their assignment boxes for the whole week, they get an A. If they've done some assignment boxes, but not all the assignment boxes, then it's an F. And then if they've done nothing at all, they haven't touched it at all, then it's a Z. And then down below is the grade breakdown of the categories, the weight of each different type of grade that we give for language arts. The novels that we'll be reading this year, the first quarter novel, students need to be getting their hands on it. It's The Refugee by Alan Gratz. Students have until September 29th or September 30th to get this book. Then the second quarter, we have different class periods reading different books. So if your child is in period 3, 5, or 8, they're going to read The Uglies. And if your child is in period 2, 4, 6, or 7, they're going to read The Marrow Thieves. And then the fourth quarter book is The Outsiders, and every child will read The Outsiders. So I ask that for novels, every student needs to have the physical book, and it can't be a library book. It cannot be on an electronic device, and make sure that the book is clean. There should be no prior annotations, no prior writing on the pages, because the student needs to do his or her own work in the novel. Here are the materials that students need. I told students this is the perfect time to purchase materials because things are going on sale in the stores, but the students need to have these materials for Zoom class and when we come back in the classroom. So we use these materials every day in language arts class, so it's very important that students come prepared for class. If students are missing materials or not prepared for class, then this is going to affect their participation and it will affect their grade. Oops. Academic honesty. Doral has a 0 tolerance for cheating. So again, if I do find a student or students that have cheated off of each other, I give everyone 0s. I inform all of the parents, and then I turn the names over to administration for them to handle. But we absolutely do not tolerate it at this school. I encourage kids, you need to have integrity, you need to be honest, and especially at 7th grade, I teach them, if your friends ask, you need to say no, okay? You need to treasure and, honor your work, and it's your work, and nobody should be asking to look at your work or borrow your work. That's putting yourself in a dangerous situation, and it is okay to say, I'm sorry, no thank you. Or make an excuse and say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have it, okay? Study strategies. I teach study strategies throughout the year to help students understand themselves and how they learn and retain information the best. So we go over a lot of these study strategies here in class. I encourage students with these study strategies. And so hopefully by the end of 7th grade, students will have a better understanding of how they study and what gives them the best results. Some students already know themselves as a lifelong learner, and some students are still discovering and trying things out to see what works for them. Also, I do not accept late assignments, so I give plenty of time for students to do an assignment, turn it in. I give plenty of reminders in class, outside of class through Remind on the homework website. So students need to make sure that they stay organized, that they time manage themselves, and that they do their assignments on time. Also, I do not offer extra credit at all, never, okay? I assign enough assignments throughout the quarter for a student to get his or her grade where they want it to be, So I'm not a believer in extra credit. I'm so thankful that you guys were able to attend open house. I hope this was very informative. I wish you all a great rest of your day, and I'm looking forward to this school year and this adventure. And I guarantee that your student is going to grow and learn and become a stronger reader and a stronger writer. Now, if any of you have any questions, I am more than willing to ask them. And if I don't get to your question, then feel free to email me your question and I will get back to you later today. Thanks so much, guys. I look forward to a great year.